I end every video with build that stack. Sometimes excitedly, sometimes more reserved, but the same message in every video, build that stack. We mean that. We sincerely believe silver is monumentally cheap, even at today's pricing, which for the record is about $80 per ounce as of the time I'm recording this, which is late at night on Sunday, April 19th. And then the comments come. Many flavors, same message. I'd stack silver if I had the money. And that's the line, that's the excuse, and that's the mental block. Because what those comments are really saying is, I don't have large sums of disposable income sitting around to buy monster boxes, so I guess I'll do nothing. And that's exactly how you risk staying broke. It's not because you lack money. It's because you lack imagination. However, dear commenter, what if I could show you a way where you could stack silver for virtually free? Would you do it? Yes, you say. Sounds fair, but how? Glad you asked. Let me show you something most people have never even considered. And you can literally go to your bank today, walk up to the counter, and ask for $50. That's it. No special permission, no background check, no approval from some hedge fund manager in Manhattan. Just say, I'd like 500 or 1,000 or whatever amount you can fund in $50. Give them said amount, and presto, they'll hand you a box. A box that might and probably does contain some silver. So, not maybe someday if the Fed pivots, not if inflation hits 12%, not if gold breaks, actual physical ready minted United States silver coinage hiding in plain sight. And here's the secret most people don't know, and this is the key. $50 minted 1964 and earlier are 90% silver. And that's not all. $50 minted in 1965 to 1970 are still 40% silver. After 1970, junk, just clad, copper sandwiches pretending to be money. But those older coins, they didn't disappear. They got spent, respent, dumped into jars, inherited, forgotten, and eventually they made their way back into the banking system. And that's where you come in. This is the hunt. Picture this. You get a $1,000 box of $50. That's 2,000 coins. You take it home, you dump it on a table, and now you're not just a guy with coins. You are a treasure hunter. Every edge you check, every coin you flip, you're looking for that flash of silver because silver coins look different. They don't have the copper stripe on the edge. They shine differently. You'll know it when you see it. They feel different. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so what are the odds? Let's be honest. This is not 1975. You're not going to go find piles of silver in every box. But here's a realistic range based on what modern coin roll hunters report. You will get dry boxes. It happens where you'll get zero finds. But a typical box, you'll get at least maybe 1 to 3 silver coins. A decent box, you could get 5 to 10 coins. And a hot box, 20 plus coins. It's rare, but it happens. And when it does, oh, you'll remember it. And so per $1,000 search, you might expect on the low end, of course, on an unlucky day, 0. Average, let's say it's $30 to $90 worth of silver based on melt value. And on an occasional spike, 600 plus in silver if you hit a hop streak. So if you perform the search and you want to know the base melt value, I have linked the APMEX silver coin melt value calculator in the description. They are not paying us anything. We just think they have a really great tool, and we're linking it here for free. It won't cost you or me anything to use, and that's what makes it fun. So the gist is that a pre-1965 silver dollar melt value is about $29.16 as of today's recording. And a 1965 to 1967 Kennedy 40% half is about $12 melt value as of today. So pretty tidy profit when you hit, right? But guess what? The value is even higher when you find a rare date. And the higher still, the better the condition the coin is. And here's the part nobody tells you. You're absolutely nothing except you have nothing invested except some time. And by the way, it's fun. I used to search when I was a kid for Indian head and wheat pennies. It's the same concept. So it takes me back to those days. I promise you, it's a blast. And if you have kids or grandkids, do it with them. Double the fun. And trust me, kids love this stuff. And aren't we all just big kids? So while you're having all that fun finding free silver, you know what the best part is? There's zero risk. When you're done, you take the 0 silver coins back to the bank and get the rest of your $1,000 back. And it's a closed loop. It's an infinite money loop. So let that sink in. You're not buying silver. You're filtering money. You're passing currency through your hands and removing the pieces that still have intrinsic value. That's a completely different mindset. And this is why it matters more than people realize. We live in a world where people gamble on options they don't understand. They chase crypto with dog logos. They finance trucks they can't afford. But they won't spend a Saturday or a Sunday looking for real money hiding inside government-issued coins. Why? Because it sounds too simple. It's too old school. It's too boring. And that's exactly why it works. Here's the psychology of it. There's something else going on here. When you start doing this, something changes in your brain. You stop seeing money as numbers on a screen and you start seeing weight, metal, scarcity, and history. You're holding something that was minted when silver was actually money. And that shift alone is worth more than whatever silver you find. And the strategy, if you actually want to do this, is if you are serious about it, here's how people approach it. You start small. Ask for $200 to $500 in half dollars. You don't overwhelm yourself in one day. Build a relationship with the tellers at the bank. Not all branches carry half dollars. Some will order boxes for you if you're consistent, and then have what's called a dump bank, a different branch where you return the coins. And it keeps things smooth and avoids friction. Look at the edges first, the fastest way to spot silver. No copper stripe, check that coin, and be consistent. This is a volume game. The more you search, the more you'll find. And let's talk reality. Is this going to make you rich? Absolutely not, no. But is this going to replace stacking bullion? Again, no. But that's not the point. This is for the person who says, I don't have extra cash to invest. Okay, fine. Then invest your time. Because this is one of the only games left where you can not lose your principal, you can gain knowledge, and you might find real money, and you build discipline. And occasionally, you hit something special. A 1964 Kennedy, a Franklin Heft, maybe even a Walking Liberty. Coins that have survived decades, maybe even a century in circulation, sitting in a random bank box waiting for someone paying attention. That moment, that's the hook. That's when people get it. And here's the bigger picture. This isn't really about silver. This is about training yourself to see value where others don't. Because once you learn that skill, you start seeing value everywhere. Mispriced assets, overlooked opportunities, broken systems. And suddenly, you're not the person saying, I can't afford to invest. You're the person saying, I know where to look. So if you walked into the bank tomorrow and they handed you a box and somewhere inside that box was real money, would you take the time to find it, or would you walk away because it didn't come wrapped in a trading app with a flashing green arrow and a dopamine hit? That choice is everything. And now you know the rest of the free silver story.